Times the devil tries turn me around. Keep pressing on, 'cause my soul is heavy bound. 'Cause my soul is heaven bound.
'Raider Nation, man, what is going on? What is the deal? What is happening? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. And today we're going to be tapping in with some of the moves the Raiders made on Wednesday, signing a veteran running back, also losing some other key pieces, man, and some people was tripping. So we definitely got to talk about that. Want to let y'all know this is a pre-recorded episode, but regardless of it, make sure y'all still tapping on the like button, still hitting on that subscribe button if you're feeling what you're hearing. But regardless, further ado, man, let's go ahead, let's get that funky music going, and let's get the show started. What is going on? What is happening with the Raider family, man? Make sure you guys are tapping on that like button and at the same time tapping on that subscribe button if you're feeling what you're hearing, man. So, like I said, it is a pre-recorded episode today, right? So we are going to still be touching on that news regardless of what the Raiders did yesterday, right? So we're going to talk about some of the signings, little bit of some of the rumors, right? And also some losses that people was tripping about. So before we continue on with anything, right? Shout out to everybody that is down there in the chat. I know all my peoples is in here showing love as always, man. So, you know, regardless if I'm not bringing up your names, you already know, man, it's much love as we do here on the rundown, man. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's go through some of the signings that the Raiders have made. And we're going to start off with the very first one. And that is the Raiders signing Raheem Mostert to a 1 year, 2.1 or 3 million. I saw different numbers. I saw $2.1 million one way, $3 million the next way. Regardless of it, bro, keep money, right? And for me, I actually really like this signing. Now, this is where I'm gonna have to talk some of y'all off the ledge, right? Because I saw a lot. We look Twitter, X, social media, just talking to some people. Y'all get to tripping and like, well, why are we signing him? He's 32 years old. He's old. He's been injured, whatever the case. What are we doing? What is he going to do for us next year? Understand, if Raheem Mostert is your starter going into next year, then the team done fucked up. I'm just keeping it a beam, bro. If he is the starter going into next year, the front office and the coaching staff, everyone involved, done fucked up, because this is veteran depth, bro. In a perfect world, as it should be, this is a signing where you bring in the veteran, like we've been talking about on this channel for months and months and weeks and weeks. You bring in the veteran, and then you go into the draft and you draft your starter, right? Like, the draft is where you're supposed to be getting your starting running back from, not this shit right here. This shit right here is depth, veteran move, right? And fresh legs. That's literally all this shit will be. And what it should be, right? And if you pull the GM rundown plan, fucking with me, we drafting 2 running backs. So then that's 2 youngins in the backfield, fresh legs, right? With Mostert as well. Now we can go over kind of what he's done in the league and some of the connection that he has with some of the players, some of the people on the coaching staff, because he has some connection, right? 32 years old, like I said. Last year was not the greatest year for him. Last year he only had 85 carries, 278 yards, averaged 3 yards per carry, only 2 touchdowns last year. Had some receiving, 19 receptions, 161 receiving yards. But yeah, it was a down year. It was a down year last year. And, something that 2 years ago wasn't even no factor, man. You look 2 years ago, man, he led the league, I believe, in rushing. But if we're going to look right, 2024, it was bad. 2023, just last year, or 2 years ago. That's 2 years ago now, right? I'm over here fucking up. I'm tweaking. But just 2 years ago, 1,012 yards, right? He had 18 touchdowns in 2 years ago, right? 209 carries as well. And sort of some of the role that I would expect him to be, right? And this is kind of where I put the range of where I think his numbers would be if he just gets some of these type of carries. But you're looking, right? He was with San Francisco, of course, before Miami. And this is where I believe the Chip Kelly connection is. I believe the Chip Kelly connection came with him bringing Mostert into the league. I believe that's what it was, either bringing him into the league or he saw him with San Francisco. It's one of the two. So I'm going to look that up right now as we go in. But with San Francisco, some of these numbers that I'm looking at, I believe these are some of the numbers that we might be able to see from Mostert, right? Especially if we're going with the rookie running back, the young running back, letting them get majority of the carries, bringing in Mostert as that veteran rotational back, right? So with San Francisco, obviously kind of where he got his bones a little bit from, and then went to Miami and did a little bit more. But with them in 2019, sort of the production I'm looking at when he had 137 carries, 772 yards, right? Looking at that production. Now there he averaged 5 yards a carry and shit. So he was moving that year, right? But then, you look at the year previous, 2019, he had 137 carries, 772 yards, 8 touchdowns then. So really for me, I'm looking, right, more along the lines of saying, like, I think 2020, 2019 are some of the stats that we might be able to see from Raheem Mostert, right? 2019 with San Francisco, he had 137 carries, 772 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2020 gave us 104 carries, 521 yards, 2 touchdowns. So those 2 years right there is kind of the production that I'm looking to see from Raheem Mostert. If you're going to ask me, well, rundown, what do you expect from him? What do we expect to see? That, right? When I'm looking 104 carries, 521 yards, or 137 carries, 772 yards, however it go, right? That is around the production I'm expecting. Maybe even less, maybe even a tad less, more along the lines of like 2020 for me. And that's only because if you have that rookie, right? Say if we draft and I'm going to talk about some fits in a minute, but say if we draft some dudes in the second, third round, and those are your starters, and these are the guys that you're giving 20 plus carries to, right? And Raheem is just the rotational back, then 521 yards from your RB2 is not bad at all. I don't give a fuck what nobody tells me, bro. That is nothing to sniff at. That is nothing to sneeze at. If you're talking about 521 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry from your RB2, and that's not even counting the fact if they really like Sincere McCormick as well. And then that adds another rotational back into the mix, right? So right now, I like it. Right now, we start talking about fits. And y'all know me, man. When we start getting into running back talk, dog, I start nerding out. Now we start talking about fits. This is a veteran move, of course. And as I said, yeah, it ain't too many years left, whatever. So you're going to have to draft one. If we're talking about the rotation, right? And we need to, it's like fitting the puzzle pieces in for me. With a running back room, bro, they need to complement each other because more than likely, majority of these motherfuckers is playing. So I would like a room that complements each other where I can bring in maybe a big back, bring in Raheem Mostert, bring in a Sincere McCormick, and they're all different skill sets that provide the defense with different challenges, right? So for me, now that Raheem Mostert is in the building, I like guys more in the draft, and we talking about a Judkins. I think Judkins pairs very well with Raheem Mostert. I mean, that shit is ridiculous how I feel that shit works like a glove. It fits like a glove. So I think Judkins would pair well. My guy, Caleb Johnson, he would pair very well with a guy like Raheem Mostert, right? I think those are two guys right there that I would definitely have my eyes on in the later rounds. Now we talk about Omarion Hampton. He of course fits. Love it. And you talk about Genty as well. He of course fits, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But those two dudes I have my eyes on heavily, right? I like Judkins. I like Caleb Johnson. Those would be some guys. Ollie Gordon would be another that I really like, and skill set complements, I believe, what we would get from Raheem Mostert. Also, I mean, if we're going to continue on that path, I like the Scatterboo. Scatterboo would give us a different element in dimension, right? Other than McCormick, other than Mostert, I believe they would give us another dimension. And of course, I'm going to continue to bring this guy up. I see some people, oh, he's not that good. I see some people, whatever the case, I don't give a fuck, man. My eye test is telling me that this dude is good. And that's Khalil Mullings, bro, from Michigan. That's another guy. I feel like that would fit and pair well with what I'm seeing from what I believe we will get from Raheem Mostert, right? Like that. I don't know why people ain't talking about Khalil Mullings more. I talk to Chris all the time. I be telling LV and shit all the time, bro. Like, dog, I don't know what I'm not seeing, but that motherfucker looks like he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good NFL running back. I just don't see how he's not going to make some type of contribution. So those are some running backs from the college ranks that I'm like, yeah, bro, we can definitely pair with Raheem and create some type of synergy in this running back room. Something I was preaching all last offseason. And Telesco's ass said, fuck you. I'm gonna draft what I want to draft. Right? There was no complementary pieces within the room. Nobody played off each other. It was a lot, right? It was a lot for me. So that looks good. I like Raheem Mostert coming in here. I like what he can provide as an RB2, maybe 3 veteran, right? I really like that. And also provide how to stay in the league and stay healthy. Not healthy, but just stay in the league and be a production person. I wasn't going to say health, but that is kind of oxymoron when you're talking about Raheem Mostert. He was kind of hurt last year. And at the same time, they did, get H-Hand as well. So that's another little bit of it. But again, bro, 10 seasons as a running back, going on 11, some type of durability in that motherfucker, right? If you got 11 seasons as a running back in the NFL, bro, you can say what you want. We can make all these jokes, but that is some type of durability to have that. At a 33-year-old running back, dog, that's just not easy. So Shout out to Mostert, right? And I definitely feel like we got something with that as far as a veteran. And let's see who we draft in the draft. So everybody that's tripping, you see them on Twitter, see them on social media and shit, and they get to tripping like, oh my God, bro, that's a starter. That's a starter. No, the fuck it's not. That is not the starter, dog. That it should not be. Let's just say that. It shouldn't be. Again, if Raheem Mostert is the starter in week 1, the front office done fucked up. All right. There's no way. Okay. You get your running back in the draft. That's the starter, and you got good depth after that. So everybody that's tripping off that, let's stop all that shit, bro. Everything is not meant to be tripped over. Another example of what I just said, not everything is meant to elicit a reaction or elicit you to be mad, right? It's this one right here. We lost. Not only do we gain a player, of course, but as the game goes, bro, we lose one as well. We lost K'Lavon Chaisson yesterday, right, to the New England Patriots on a 1-year, $5 million deal. Okay. So he's gone. He leaves. Crushing blow, really, because I really wanted him back. Right. I definitely wanted him back. I felt like he was going to go into that rotation and he was going to go over there and do some work with Max and all them, right? If he was part of that rotation. But keep in mind keywords, right? Now let's bring it back and let's ground ourselves, right? That's what we're here to do on the rundown, bro. We grounding ourselves. Bro, understand, if you were in Chaisson's position, right? Now, yes, he could come back here. $5 million ain't shit, right? $5 million is nothing. We definitely could offer that, so I'm not tripping about that. But if you're in Chaisson's position, are you going to accept $5 million to be part of a rotation, or are you going to accept $5 million to be a starter? I'm going to let y'all answer that question. Right? Because there are some people that are going to come on here. There's some people that's going to fucking bitch and complain on X and Twitter, bitch and complain on social media, on your YouTubes about how this front office isn't doing shit and how this front office isn't doing their jobs and they're letting guys walk out the door and blah, 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 blah. Bro, first of all, ignore the fuck out them people, bro, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Again, if the choice is yours, are you going to go somewhere and be part of a rotation, or are you going to go somewhere and be a starter? And the position he plays, if he banks in next year as a starter for the Patriots and he plays well, shit, that $5 million increases tenfold for that motherfucker right there. So you have to put yourself in the best positions possible as a player. This is like in these situations right here, bro, I'm never, and I rarely even do that when it comes to players getting their bread, bro. I really never am ever going to say, oh man, this, fuck Chaisson or fuck the organization or whatever the case, bro, because you got to understand there's human elements to this shit. You're looking at the dollar amount and shit, but understand, bro, there are human elements. Again, just because it's NFL football does not mean this shit is not a job. It's a job. All right. Your ass, it don't matter where you work. I say it all the time, bro. Either you work for some Fortune 500 or you work for motherfucking Wendy's or McDonald's, bro. Are you going to accept a position where you feel like, I feel like I can do better? Are you? Be real, right? Let's say I work at fucking McDonald's, right? I work at fucking McDonald's and they're offering me to be it's cool little money, but they offering me just a little bit, right, to be part of the team, right? They offering me some cool bread, right? And maybe the Raiders offered him $5 million. Maybe they offered him a little less. But regardless of it, okay, I'm being part of a team. But Burger King is offering me to be shift lead. You know what I'm saying? Is it the same amount? Maybe a little tick up in money. Shift lead or fucking part of a team. Fuck that. I'm taking shift lead. That's just how it's gonna have to be, bro. Because we're trying to put ourselves in the best position possible. That just is what it is. Again, it don't matter if it's NFL, McDonald's, Burger King, FedEx, Fortune 500. When it comes to putting yourself in the best position possible for your family and your career, you're going to do that. No different from football players and all this extra in between. There is no different. So, again, we can sit here and we can take the easy route and say like this front office isn't doing shit, and well, I can appeal to a bunch of other Raider fans that sit here and we can all sit, bitch, and complain together. We can all do that, right? Because it's easy. Shit, it's easy for me to do that. I get mad views. I get mad content doing shit like that. But let's be honest with ourselves, dog. Like, we got to keep it a bean sometimes, bro. We can't sit here and be emotional over every fucking thing. Like, this shit right here was a product of, for that amount of money, for $5 million, he said, I want to go be a starter. I want to play more. I want to be in the spotlight more. And for that, you cannot be mad at that. I can't be mad. I respect it. Good for him. Hopefully he goes over there with Big Spilly, right? And they do their thing, except when they play us, right? Except when they play us, we gonna whip that ass. But until right here, bro, you happy for him. And you let him do his thing. Now you can go into the draft and you gotta go into the draft and get one. That's just what it is, bro. You got to replace it. Got to go into the draft and replace one. And let's not even forget, we had no idea this motherfucker was going to be on the team and do what he did if 5-1 did not get hurt last year. If Kuntz wasn't hurt last year, this conversation is null and void. Oh, and by the way, we gave Malcolm Kuntz $12 million. So that's another incentive to say, oh, this front office ain't doing this shit. Well, you lose Chaisson, but you bring back a fan favorite in Malcolm Kuntz for $12 million. A little bit more than what he was really slotted to make, right? So again, bro, we can't trip off everything, dog. Can't trip off everything. I think this right here was a product of him saying, as a player, I'm putting myself in a better position for my family, for myself, for my pockets in the long run, right? So can't be mad at that. Last but not least, bro. Last but not least, we're gonna touch on this. And up until April, you know what? I've embraced it. I'm gonna sound like a hater, and I don't give a fuck because this move don't make no motherfucking sense. And this tells me one thing. So I'm gonna read this to y'all, and I know some people up here, oh, they're getting excited when they hear this, right? The Raiders organization has a contingent of support for Ashton Jeanty, right? Hearing that, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I feel like we trying to trade that motherfucking pick. I feel like we trying to trade the pick. Now, there are some people that are like, well, man, you know, I take Jeanty in a heartbeat. You take him in a heartbeat. Dog, he wouldn't go before 6, right? He wouldn't go before 6. And then even at 6, bro, if we don't take him at 6, this motherfucker might go at 10, maybe, right? Maybe go at 10 again. And that always fucking fuels the point that I say we are the only top 10 team that gets mocked to have Ashton Jeanty. We're the only bad team from last year that takes a running back. Do you know what that means, bro? They expect us to make more bad decisions. This is not a fucking smart decision. I don't care. I do not care. I didn't agree with Saquon Barkley getting taken as high as he did. I didn't agree with Bijan Robinson getting taken as high as he did, right? And I believe those two players are a tick above Ashton, or especially Saquon. I don't want to hear shit about that. Saquon's better than Ashton Jeanty, hands down. We go to Penn State and all that. Now, I don't want to diminish the talent, right? But if we're going to put it in some type of perspective, Saquon went like what, 2nd overall, and I believe he's better than Jeanty. I still wouldn't have took Saquon no 2nd overall. Still wouldn't have did it because the running back position does not change the offense. It enhances the offense. Again, let me repeat this for you, right? This isn't fucking 1970 where you can take a running back and he changes the dynamic of the game. It's too much going on through the air. Too much from the quarterbacks, too much from the wide receivers. Defenses are too fast, too strong, too physical. It's not like that anymore. Now, yes, you can fuck around, and if you're looking at some people are in there, Saquon Barkley. Well, look what he did last year. Did he enhance the offense? I believe he enhanced the offense, right? He didn't sit there and automatically he didn't change the offense, did he? He enhanced the offense. Case in point. Because if we're gonna continue to talk about Saquon Barkley, it's not like the fucking Eagles weren't in the Super Bowl a couple years ago with fucking Miles Sanders, who's looking for a job. So again, let's not sit here and be like, oh man, oh yeah, they do change. No, bro, they enhance. Because when you get to a point when you can get the running back, that's damn near the cherry on top of the sundae. That's it. When you can put the running back on there like the Eagles did and said that's the final piece, well, now we rocking and rolling. But if you really look, bro, every single motherfucking bad team that has taken a running back in the first round does not look like a good decision. Multiple guys I look at, right? Look at Derrick Henry. In order to win, he had to leave that situation, and the Titans aren't that good. Look at Saquon Barkley. He had to leave the team that drafted him to go win somewhere else because they were not ready for that talent, right? Look at us and Josh Jacobs. Jacobs had to fucking leave because we were not a good team, and we were not ready to maximize that running back talent. Multiple examples of this type of move not working out. Now, if we were at pick 20-something, if we were at fucking whatever, right? We made the playoffs last year type shit, and we build it. If that's the case, so be it. Take his ass. Do it, right? I do it. Okay, look, if we was the Bills, we were some of these other squads, we was the Commanders, if we were some of these other people, I do it. Because, or even just a team that's on the cusp, on the come up, right? That's made the playoffs last year. They said, all right, we tasted success. Let's see how it feels now. Let's get some more pieces in here. And you add that because you feel like this man will take us over the top. We pretty much got a lot of these things together, but this man will take us over the top. That's when you do it. As of right now, you cannot convince me that Ashton Jeanty is more of a fucking need than a Jalen Walker. Just throwing a name. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that Ashton Jeanty is more of a need than a Travis Hunter. I'm sorry. You cannot do it. It just makes no sense, right? Because, I mean, I'm going to stay on defense. I'm not even going to bring up the offense shit. Stay on defense. I cannot be convinced that Jeanty is a better pick than them two dudes. I take them other two dudes for what we need. We need them motherfuckers right there. They will come in and improve and change the defense, right? You talk about Travis, he will come in and change that shit. You talk about Jalen, I think that motherfucker will come in here and cause havoc. We just lost Chaisson, right? We just lost Spillane, right? We need a linebacker. We need an edge. Guess who fills both them roles? Jalen Walker. So again, you cannot convince me that that's not, he's a less valuable pick than Ashton Jeanty when we need both of them spots and positions. I just cannot see it. And then and again, if this running back class wasn't this deep, though, you might have a different conversation. And you might say, like, bro, the drop off of talent is so large that you just got to take Jeanty right now because there's no way. Like, you looking at fucking Eddie Lacy 2.0 in the backfield over there, and you're like, well, you feel me? We gotta fucking take him because if not, bro, we looking at Bubba Gump back here. You feel me? So fuck it. We gotta do what we gotta do. But come on now. Give me Judkins. Give me Caleb Johnson. Maybe some Ollie Gordon. Give me a Devin Neal. Give me some of these guys that we really, really like to pair with Mostert, and give me another one, maybe undrafted, maybe late round. One of these motherfuckers gonna work out. Somebody. I don't give a fuck who it is, bro. I'm taking 2, maybe 3 running backs. Somebody's gonna be good. I don't give a fuck who it is, bro. I'm not going 0 for 3. Something's happening. So for me, bro, I look, again, I get it. And I feel like this is where context is, because some of y'all, like with the football conversations, like irk me. And we're going to be adding a new segment soon. But it's like, if Jeanty goes to a team that's supposed to take him, right, and he has a good season, then there's going to be some people coming on here like, well, you fucking idiot. You said you shouldn't have picked Ashton Jeanty. But what I just say, right, he went to a team that he's supposed to go to. It's a good fit. Right? Like if he goes to a fringe playoff team or goes to a playoff team, that's a good fit. Right? But am I justified to sit here and say, like, if we take him at 6 overall and he only gets like 1,000 or 1,100 yards, am I justified to say that's a wasted fucking pick? I wouldn't say it, but I'm just saying that's where the shit goes. That's where it goes. And again, if I pick him 6 overall and he only gives me 1,100 yards that first year, waste. Get that shit from a 3rd round pick. Dead ass. 1,100 yards? Now, I sit here and act like that shit's impressive in 17 games. It's not. I know I hate to burst some of y'all bubbles, bro, but 1,000 yards in a season is only 65 yards per game. So, right? Like, Let's not sit here and act like that shit's impressive. If you were to take him in the 6th overall, Genty, I need 16, 15 plus, 1,500 plus, 1,600 plus minimum. Because you just took him 6 overall. You're telling me he's the 6th best player in this draft. I must have it. There's no, and bro, if I don't get that, I'm gonna be pissed. Y'all know me. When it comes to this running back shit. Now we get him, I'm gonna be happy. Of course, I'm not gonna sit here and trash the pick because he's a Raider. I'm gonna hope for success, but I'm gonna wait till after the season. And if I don't see what I'm supposed to be seeing, oh yeah, I have names and lists. I got names and lists. We on, right? And I'm not talking about I'm gonna come out here and say I told you so. It's just names and lists and motherfuckers who football opinions I will no longer listen to. That's just what it will be. I'm gonna be honest with you. So from there, bro, damn, I didn't expect to go this long. I didn't expect to get this heated. But I ain't talked football in a minute, so y'all already know what time it is, man. Make sure you guys are tapping on that like button, tapping on the subscribe button. It's been 2 days, bro. 2 days for me feels like 2 months and shit without doing content. So y'all know me. I gotta get something in. But make sure you guys hitting the like button. I will be maybe going live tonight, Friday, maybe. But I know for sure, right? If you don't see me tonight, you are definitely going to see me tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Raiders podcast with Jay, man. Go be joining him in the mornings. I know we got What Up Low from the Raider Nation Live podcast, right? So we're going to be doing our thing tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific time. What is that? 1 o'clock Eastern time for y'all, for some of my East Coast peeps. Tune in for that, bro. It's going to be dope, man. I'm happy to have a Saturday show started, man. I kind of want to do something on Saturdays because I'm always just up already, up mad early, walking around and shit, and I feel like I got to have something to do. So definitely going to be a fun time tomorrow, man. Make sure y'all pull up. But regardless of it, been a fun conversation. Y'all know what I say every time here on the Rundown, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Y'all keep it safe, and I will see y'all later, man. Peace.